This video is part of the online course Europe and Young People: How Citizenship Works in the European Context. Is Europe just a place on the map? What do we mean really when we talk about Europe? Have you ever had a conversation about this with people from different European countries? If you have, you might have discovered that there are more than a few who have a feeling that Europe is somewhere other than where they live or where they come from. For many of us, it's somewhere we go when we travel abroad, but it might not be clear where exactly. Maybe we cannot find it. After all, where would we expect to find it? Maybe it's not a place at all, but rather a mindset or an idea. But how can we get there then? Where can we buy a ticket? Or are we unknowingly already there? To start simply, most people agree that Europe is a continent in the Northern Hemisphere. Fair enough, we can definitely all locate it on the Google Maps. But where exactly are its borders? Do we define them according to some geographical landmarks, political entities, or historical and cultural heritage? Or are the borders even that relevant? The deeper we delve into these questions, the further they escape any definitive answer. It's probably because there is hardly a single answer. Europe looks different from different perspectives. In this and the following videos in this module, we take a closer look at some of these perspectives and find out what kind of viewpoint we've chosen, which we think the best serves our discovery of how youth workers can bring Europe closer to young people and support their active citizenship in the European context. In between, we propose some reflective exercises which invite you to think about how the different perspectives for Europe make sense to you and how they're visible in your youth work practice. Let's get started then. The geographical borders of Europe are considered to be the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans in the north and west, and the Mediterranean Sea in the south. Together with Asia, Europe forms a Eurasian landmass, and it's conventionally thought that the Ural Mountains and the Caspian and Black Seas divide the two continents, whereas the northern, western and southern borders are less controversial. At the eastern border are countries like Russia or Turkey, which are partially in and partially out of the European geographical space. Coincidence or not, these areas also mark some of the most heated ideological and political debates about belonging or not to today's Europe. The definition of Europe by its geographical landmarks soon becomes limited. Where should we go from here? This video is part of the online course Europe and Young People: How Citizenship Works in the European Context. The course has been funded with support of the Erasmus Programme in the field of youth.